I am live tonight with our squares and rectangles portion of the art journaling mixed media series. Hello, hello. I'm live. Can you guys hear me? Hi Jill. Hi Rebecca. Hi Robbie. How are you? I was just opening a new marker to try. So, how you guys doing? Happy Wednesday. Hi Jill. How are you? I see lots of friends are here. Are you going to be making some art with me tonight or hanging out just to see what's happening? Your screen is backwards. I don't know why. My screen looks fine on my laptop. So I'm not sure. My screen looks fine. Hello. Hi. How you doing, Irene? Hi, Elma. Coming through loud and clear. I love it. The new mic, I think, is a huge improvement, right? Now I see that you're smiling face. Yay! Working along tonight. This is a really fun, relaxed one tonight. I think I'm going to attempt to do 3. It might be 2. We'll see how it goes. I'll just give everybody, hello, Simone. How are you? Hi, Sharon. Give everybody a chance to hop on. Hopefully you get to play. And even if you haven't started, there's lots of juicy stuff here now for you to kind of get kick-started. I'm going to redo a lot of it in my proper art journal, not on just the blank pages. So I'm excited. I find a lot of this stuff is it's just art without a purpose. I guess that's what I would call it, is just literally good for your mind, your body, your spirit to just make the art, right? Your hello is behind you on the other side. It's not over here. On my screen, it's on the right side. Isn't that weird? I'm watching it on my YouTube and it's on the right side. So who knows? I never know. The technological stuff, I can't even understand why. Hola! Hello, Lizette. In Puerto Rico. You're backwards. I know. Everybody's saying I'm backwards. It's not on my screen. Like on my laptop, which is different, right? So, well, sorry. The art will all be backwards. I'll look left-handed tonight. Can't tell you. Is it backwards for everybody? I don't understand why that would happen. I haven't done anything different than I normally do. So not for everybody's. Irene's isn't. Mine isn't. Maybe because we're both in Canada. Maybe it's just in the US. Backwards 2 chains. Yay. Hey. You're on mirror image on your lens. But it's not on my screen. That's what I'm saying. Or is somebody else? Is somebody else out there? I don't know. It'll all work, right? It'll all work. I'm not going to fiddle with anything because I could break the whole thing. So, don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. I didn't do a thing different. And it's backwards for some and not for others. So, I don't know. I'm just going to keep going. I don't know. I can't figure those things out, right? Yeah, not on mine. Tech mumbo jumbo. Yeah, as long as you're here, I agree. And as long as you can, the voice isn't backwards, right? Where I'm doing everything in reverse. We'll be fine. We'll be fine, right? So, hello friends. Welcome. I can't wait for tonight. I have planned out my art for tonight for squares and rectangles. We're going to do some freehand with some doodling. We are going to mask and do practice squares. I really love that, to just mask off. It's like when I sketch my layouts and stuff too, I do it in squares. And then we're going to do a mix. That's the plan. You can use any mediums you want. I'm going to use a combination of watercolor and acrylics. And then my pens. So we're going to get right into it because it is Wednesday and I know that a lot of you have to work tomorrow, right? Right? So I feel like let's just get right into it. So I'm going to flip the camera like I do. Maybe it'll straighten out there. I have no clue. I didn't change anything on my end. It's exactly the way I always do it. So I can't tell you. Is it the way that you're viewing, or I don't know, right? I have no clue. I'm not too concerned. I think it'll all still work out. So you have to look up my nose for a minute. Hello, Charlie. And flip. There we go. What's it say? You are connecting. No, I'm not. Other device. Okay. No, I'm not. It's not headphones. It is my, can you guys still hear me? I want to make sure that didn't just mess anything up. I hate, technology is awesome when it works. It is really annoying when it doesn't. That's my thoughts and feelings on the whole thing. It is great when it works. It is really frustrating when it doesn't. Now it's right. Yeah, can't explain it to you. Nothing was different. My phone is on the tripod the same way it always is, so it works for me. Hopefully it works for you guys. Yay! Question. Did you link your watercolor palette? I have not, Sarah. Oh my goodness, my life. I tell you, I work and I go to bed and I get up and I start working again. And it's awesome to be super busy, but it's not awesome when you can't finish one task. That's what I feel like. I'm trying to work on all the things at the same time. So I will definitely do that because I do love these two palettes. I ordered some other stuff that I will be sharing as well. I love my water, right? So for sure I will. I found it all. I've put it. I set up the links in Amazon. Now I just have to do it. I have to do it. You finished your too tired, finish my assignment today. You know what? You got to do what you got to do. And it's okay because this will all be here for you when you're ready to go. So we have accomplished lots. If you've been playing along, right? We've accomplished lots. So let's take a quick look through because maybe this is your first time joining. Maybe this is your first time joining. Hello, Susan. Yay, you caught us live. I love it. So, you know, we did all of our swatching, which was a lot of fun. There's still stuff I have to finish, but you know what? Just like you guys, I get done what I can, and sometimes it's just what I can get done live. I can't revisit, and then sometimes I have time to revisit. I got a Peloton membership for like a non-Peloton treadmill user. So I have been getting up very early and walking because I feel like I need to move my body because I sit and work all the time. So I got that in this morning because Simon thought it would be a good idea to wake me up at 5:30 this morning. 5:30 was when the cat decided it was time to get up. So I did that, and then I'm writing instructions for some classes, and we're packing orders for Scrap Fest, and trying to get the store in order so I can get all the grab boxes and everything up, and that is a huge undertaking. And designing 2 new collections. I tell you, it's they're not bad problems to have. It's just one Vicky, as always, right? One Vicky. But this brings me joy. You guys are my reprieve, and you bring me joy. And to sit and do this stuff with you has definitely made me super happy. And what I love is there's things that I've done here that I love. There's things I've done that I don't really care for at all. And every single one, I learned something new, right? Every single one of these, I learned something new. So it is a lot of fun. I have very much enjoyed this. This is what we did last Wednesday, right? If you haven't been here, I worked a little bit. I woke up on Saturday morning. Everybody was sleeping, and I did a little bit more. Here's the crazy zombie parrot eye turned into Easter eggs. Freaking this page, you know, it is what it is. I love the process of doing it, but this does not make my heart happy. It just makes my heart go, it's okay. And then we played on Friday, and I love everything we did on Friday. I love how everything turned out. We did with art tools, like pulling paint, pulling watercolor. This is distress ink, and then we stenciled with one of my new stencils on top of it. I love how that one turned out. Some of you guys did some beautiful stuff with that. I love, love, love the fluorescent pink. Love it. And I still have some stuff that I want to do on these, but I haven't had time, but I'll get to it. Love this. And this is where we talked about the difference with different qualities of watercolor paper. So this one is a more expensive paper with 25% cotton, and this is a synthetic blend. It is the one that I bought at Michael's, and you will see how the exact same watercolor will react and act differently on different papers. So I really think that that was fun. So that's where we're at. And tonight, we have 2 more to go. We have tonight that we're doing squares and rectangles. And then Friday, I think, is arches. We're going to do arches. So some rainbows and different things. And then I'm gone for a while. I'll be away for a little bit. So there won't be, I'll have to see if I can squeeze anything in there, but there won't be live for a little bit. I would have loved if I could have time to record some stuff, but we know the reality of that. I haven't even done laundry. So it's one of those, we get done what we can get done, and we're just happy to achieve something, right? So for tonight, I could work on the back of this watercolor one. I could go, I'm going to work on the back of the better quality one. I'm going to do it on that. So I'll just have those in a different order. So I'm going to work on the back of that one. For the first one we're going to do is freehand. The second one we're going to do is with masking. And it could be on foundations. It could be on watercolor, whatever you want to do. These will be my 3 papers for tonight. Or I could do front and back, right? Or I could do front and back. But it's been a lot of fun, right? Busy can be a good thing. I've missed many too and haven't started this fabulous series yet. Trying to complete some things. New things keep on coming. I love it, Mary Pat. And the other thing is it really is worthwhile to just grab an art journal. And a lot of these things are 15-minute exercises. So it's a fun thing if you feel like getting creative, but you don't have a lot of time to sit down and get into a big project. These can be little fun things that you do in between. You don't have to do it in order like I did. Maybe one of them appeals to you more than another. Maybe you don't want to use acrylic at all and you only want to do watercolor or make watercolor from your distress ink. Whatever makes you happy. That's exactly where you need to be, right? That's exactly where you need to be. So the first one that I'm going to do tonight is going to be with watercolor. You could do it with distress ink if you wanted to. I'm going to clean up my workspace a little bit. Yeah, revisit some of them. I love that, Irene. I 100% agree with that. I concur. Revisit some. Maybe you did something along the way and you're like, I want to go back and do that. Because any of these can be combined. And like I said, we kept this pretty purist in the sense that we're only doing one thing. We didn't add stamps. We didn't really add stencils for the most part. You could layer. You can see people have done some beautiful things where they started layering. That'll be like our next part, right? When we start layering some stuff. Question, will you be showing us how to use day-to-day punch you use to punch holes alongside? Didn't I do that on the prep class? Did I show how I use the punch? I think I did in the prep class, where we talked about everything that I was going to be using. If not, I can revisit that at some point. But yeah, I have a ton of those that are going to go on super sale as well. I think I have about 20 of them. So I will be posting those as well. It's all ready. We've been adding it all into the shop. And now my thing is that I'm going to be away. So how do I go and start selling stuff? I won't be here to pack orders, right? So it's going to all happen when I get back. So let's do the things. You're welcome, Diana. I think these have been a lot of fun, right? This one here, I'm going to go in with watercolor. So I'm going to use my flat brush and I'm going to use, just grab a couple brushes. Okay. Color palette can be anything you want. I'm going to use just what I have, right? So I'm going to fill up some of these ones that I haven't put any pigment in. So let's go in with a little bit of the pink. Okay. So you might be using pan watercolors. You might be using the little round ones. You could be using the liquid watercolors. Maybe you're using scribble sticks or Tim Holtz watercolor pencils. Whatever you're using, totally works, right? I think it's fun. Sarah, you know what? We could do all the things, or you can just do a few things, right? There are no rules at all. I might put some wet stuff down just so I'm using. I just thought this was a fun exercise. And really, my idea was that for anybody who paints and does all this stuff, it's just kind of a nice exercise. But really was to get people who are nervous to try this stuff or have never thought or haven't thought it was maybe in their wheelhouse, that I wanted you to have the opportunity to do this along with me. So really it was kind of for people who are beginners or don't do this. And then I thought it would be a great exercise for people who play along all the time anyway, right? So wherever, no art police, 100%, right? There aren't. Do whatever makes you happy. It's exactly where you need to be. So my idea is I'm just going to float little rectangles. When they dry, we're just going to doodle and do some art mark making around them. Okay? So this is a good warm-up for tonight. I don't need to mask or do anything. I'm literally just going to add water, and we could do random. Maybe I'll just do random colors throughout. It could all be greens and blues if you want to. What color palette do you think you guys are going to use? Are you going to mix your palette? How about, because I haven't really done this, what if we do kind of pinks and purples? So I'm going to make some colors first, okay? I'm going to take this blue and this turquoise, right? And I'm going to mix some pink into that. So I'm going to make color. I have to make some of these because I don't have purples on here, right? So we're going to make 2 purples. So I'm going to get, I'll probably have to put some more pink out. So I'm going to make this into a purple with that turquoisey color. And I'll start with that. I'm going to just start painting with that. And I'm just going to, like I said, I'm just going to float a little rectangle. So could you go in with your round brush? You most certainly could. You can do whatever you want, right? But I want to just float these so it looks kind of watercolory, right? Little rectangle. I'm going to rinse that. Let's make another purple. I might blend right into my turquoise because I'm wild and crazy like that. So I'm going to take a little bit of this pink and I'm going to mix it into the existing turquoise on here as well. But let's see if we add a little yellow in this, what purple we'll get. And take a little bit of the yellow. Ooh, look it. I'm gonna have to put some more pink in there because I just made that very green. Too much yellow. Somebody's here. Rich went to get his hair cut, so he must be coming to show me his new do.
What are you saying about me?
That I said, oh, Rich is here. He went to get his hair cut. He must be coming to show me his real new do.
I forgot you were on your show.
I'm on my show. On your show. He forgot I was on my show.
Got the microphone and everything.
Yes, I'm super, what do you call me? Califragilistic?
I'm going to come around on that side and
Show everybody.
do some stuff.
You're going to paint?
No.
No.
Do you want to paint the back of my head where it's bald?
Yes, I could get my little Sharpie out and I could draw you some hair.
Gotta had to point that out to me. I didn't appreciate it.
What, that you're bald? That's nice. That was nice.
Nice.
Gotta.
Yeah.
You said it. I didn't say it. I don't care. I told you. You can lose your hair. You just got to keep your teeth. That's what my mom used to always say. Although, unfortunately, my dad lost his teeth, but she still kept him around. Bill lost his teeth, but Sheila didn't kick him out.
I tried to lose a tooth.
Yeah.
But I got it back.
Yep, we paid lots of money for that tooth, didn't we? Yeah. Everybody's saying, hi, Rich. Hi, Sidecar. You can be the sous chef. No, he can't, Kari.
What is that?
That you could sit in here and paint with me.
Oh, yes. That's a great idea.
No.
I'm coming over.
You stick to your... What is it? You stick to your talents.
I don't have any talents. You have the talent.
I'm telling you, something else. So I'm making some purples. So what happens if we do another one? What are you doing, you weirdo? He's sitting here like leaning over the desk looking at what I'm doing.
I'm observing.
But it's not because he really cares. He's just trying to be a wiener. Wiener.
Okay.
I don't know if you took that turkey out. I put it back in the fridge.
Yeah, I took it out.
You're the only one.
You're gonna make it.
No, Riley's eating at work, and Devin went to Daniel's, so
I have nothing.
Nope. You have to figure something out there, dude. You're a big boy. Okay, so look, I love this. We got some, hot tub. Got some earthy purple going on here. Can he be your water boy? He's gone. He's going to be a water boy in his favorite spot. He's got his little hot tub action going on, right? So look at that. This is a little earthier than what I normally do, and I'm kind of excited about it. So let's see what colors. Did you guys mix? Are you mixing? I can't speak. Are you making some of your own colors? It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Question. Are we having mixed media class on Friday? I had to log out. Yes, we are. I'll be here on Friday. I will be here on Friday. And then there's things I want to do, because now, like, I feel like one of the things that needs to happen is then we level up and show, like, other things you can do, right? With the mixed media. I would like to make a card and a scrapbook page doing some of this stuff. So, right? You had 3 crowns and a filling done in one appointment. Did they put you under? That's a lot. Were the crowns all on the same side? That's a lot of work, Dawn, to have done in one appointment. That's some crazy talk. And let's put some pink in here. I'm going to do 2 pinks. I'm going to do 2 of the roses. That is a lot of dental work in one. So we're going to... Yes, I think, like, I feel like that's the next thing that needs to happen. For some of you guys that are, you know, I think it's totally okay if this just became making stuff or doing mixed media art, right? Or doing art journaling. But for my friends that are here that are doing this, but are predominantly scrapbookers or card makers, I think it will be super helpful to show useful ways to incorporate this into those crafts. It can be, I'm going to leave that, look at that peachy, pinky color there. Okay, I've made my palette. I'm happy with that. And I made mud too. Yeah, you can catch up while I'm away. Hello, Robin. How are you? Not in as much pain as I thought. Yep, just keep that Advil going. Yes, all on the same side, and you had nitrous. So this one I painted. I loaded my brush, painted all the color. I'm gonna look at that purple mud that I made. I'll go into my clean palette. So I could also do one where I float water, right? We could do where we float water, and maybe this pigment I'm going to pick up, and we could just float that in, right? and then just let that do its thing. I'm going to pick up this guy and I'm just going to paint it. Did you notice I'm not really going to clean my brush? Because whatever we get when we go in here, we're just going to go with it. Now, ooh, I like that. That brownie business going on. Clean it a little bit. Let's pick up some pink. And then we could go in if we want to and float other pigment in there too. Maybe this one's going to get a little bit of that pink floating around. I'm going to soak up some of that water. It's too wet. Yeah, same as floating in. Yep. But I had a little bit too much water on that. And because the paper's already buckling a bit, I just lifted some of that up. I'm going to go in with a little bit of a drier brush and put some more pigment in that. And let's see what we get as it dries. Love it. Okay, what else do we want to go in with? I'm going to go with that color again. I'm going to go in with that dirty-ish one. I like it. It's almost a smoky gray, that one, right? And then let's not like really overthink this. Let's just deposit pigment. Question, yo, okay, answered that one already. Let's go in with this peachy color. Could float some of that in there too. And we're just going to deposit our pigment. So rectangles, okay? Let's put some of that blue here. Some of that peachy color. Put some of that down here too. Ooh, that's a lot. Who even knows what that color is? That's going to be like a gray almost now. Look at that. Oh, I kind of dig it though. This is fun. Isn't that fun, friends? Okay. Or maybe you don't think it is. Maybe you're like, ooh, not my favorite, Vicky. Totally okay. What are we going to do for the last one? So if you want to just float a little bit more pigment in there on some of these, go back through. You can add a little bit more depth, right? Tilt it, make the water run down a little bit. I am totally digging this. There's craziness going on up there. My cat tried to escape when I came home tonight. He was right, he heard the garage door open, and he was right at the door. And my hands were full, and he tried to get out. I'm like, you get in here, you little monster. So I'm just thickening a few of these up, and I like that. It has then the light and the dark. See that offset when you go over? Because where the paint has dried will be one color. I don't even care that I'm going over with the same colors. Oh, I love it. Let's see over that gray. Very fun. I love it. I'm telling you, it's the simplest thing, and it brings me the most amount of joy. Look how pretty those are. So imagine on a card that maybe you have a beautiful floral stamp. Look how quick and easy that background. Look at though, that's pretty pink up there. It's almost like one of these is not like the others. So I'm just gonna pull a little bit over top of it. I mixed all my hot pink, so I can't even reintroduce that anywhere. Or on the background of a layout, I think that would be so much fun. So we're gonna set that aside to dry. It's a great exercise. It's great for color mixing. This is great for playing with your watercolor and just getting a good feeling for water to pigment ratio. You get that wicking. Look at that where it fans out. I love it. Very happy with that. I'm going to set it aside. When it dries, then we can doodle around it. And this has laid our foundation, and I'm just going to go around with continuous line. That's what we're going to do. I want you to take, when we do this, we're going to go with our pen and do a continuous line doodle where you can't lift the pen off. So that's going to be fun. We're going to do that. I'm not going to dry that with a heat gun because I want that to dry on its own and just do all of its loveliness. I actually love that muddiness. So I'm kind of excited about that. Can you tell? Now we're going to mask this one. So this one might be a combination of acrylic, and I can use my acrylics and my watercolor. So the whole idea with this is we are going to mask it. So you're going to divide up your page. Do you want to do 4? So the rectangles. Do you want to do 6? Do you want to do 9? You kind of have to decide on that. So if I go down the center of the page, and then I'm going to mask the sides as well, and then I can mask. So I'm going to mask with my thicker tape on the outside. I'm going to mask the outside of the page first. Don't forget, this is going to require binding holes with just the process I'm using. So the holes are going to be on this side, so I'm going to mask this side in a little bit deeper. Do you have a new job, Heather? That's super exciting. So this one I'm going to put on this side. Now you know I like to work on an angle, so I'm going to just angle the page a little bit and tape it, okay? So we have to mask this one out. We're going to create masked squares or rectangles. Whatever you want to do for yours, okay? Squares or rectangles. You like the earthy colors, the earthy purples? Me too. And that was just, we just got the earthiness from adding a little bit of orange and yellow in with that, right? We dirtied it up. We dirtied it up. And then I'll put a little bit thicker on this side. Because I know the binding holes are going to go there. Okay, so let's use the thinner tape. How you guys doing? Who is playing along tonight? I'm curious. I'm curious as well if it would be worthwhile to do the random live every now and again on a Sunday or Saturday afternoon or something where we could get a nice mix of people joining us, right? My fingernails, there, I can't get the tape started. We were required to mask every project. Oh, you're talking about something else. You're playing along. I love it, Patty. You're doing your best to play along. Drinking common, watching. Yes, I have had that a couple of nights this week. Calm magnesium. Boop. So I'm going to just do my best at making these even. It doesn't look like I'm winning on this one, but good enough, right? So before I commit, I'm going to look and see. Is it going to be like that? They might not be perfect. Who cares? And like that. Okay, I'm going to put that one there, and I'm going to move that top one down a little bit. I have to do this. It's going to bug me. It's got to come over a little bit. I'm hoping I don't rip my page. And then we're just going with that. Just going with it. This is still bigger on this side, but I say good enough, right? Good enough. So you could do mini watercolors in here. What is the calm drink asking from New York City? It's magnesium, calm magnesium. So it is good for before you go to bed, because magnesium, we all need it. And it just kind of relaxes you. It can also be good for getting things moving. But yeah, I love it. Hello, Vicky. Hello, Carissa. How are you? So you could do little mini watercolor abstracts. You could do with acrylics, because I use watercolor. Here, how about this? I'm going to put first a layer of watercolor down, and then we'll put some acrylic details on it. How about that? And let's go in. My palette's pretty dirty. Are we just going to stick with that? Because it's going to be hard with how clean my, we'll go with this first. My acrylics are. So we'll just go with some blues. So you could do circle if you want. Like a little float, a little circle in there. This is on foundations paper though, so it's not going to react the same as it would on the nice textured cold press. So we'll just go with it. You could use your sorry, brain fart. You could use your, oh my goodness, give me strength. Your distress ink. I apologize. That one hurt. Could you hear it? Could you hear my brain trying to do the work? That one hurt. How about this on this one? So lay down any kind of pattern you want. I think you could hear my brain not working there, right? So our squares in this one, or rectangles, depending how well you got your tape lined up, are just going to be little mini masterpieces on your page. So we're just randomly going in and depositing some pigment. I want these to be very loose exercises, okay? This does not have to be perfect. And I'm just going in with the turquoise because it is what I have available on my palette that wasn't totally dirty. And like I said, it is on foundations paper, which is more like a hot press watercolor. So it is going to sit a little bit more on top of the paper rather than soaking right into it. As this dries, I can add a second layer if I want to. And just do the things I always laugh too with you guys when you're watching. You're like, Vicky is so quiet when she does these. I'm concentrating, right? So I don't talk as much as I normally do. Oh, I forgot the top one, didn't I? So what could we do? I like the grid. I'm going to do a square in our square on the first one. Let's do a square. So maybe we will just put a little rectangle. It's more of a rectangle, right? My furnace is on behind me. It's very loud tonight. And then people are dragging their chairs at the island, and that is the other thing you can hear above me. So we're not putting a ton of thought. This is an exercise, so we really just want to make little mini abstracts. And then we can come back in with our pens after. I don't love that, so I'm going to fill that part in. Okay, so that's our watercolor. Now we can mix in some acrylic. So what colors do we want to use? I think I'm going to go on the brighter side with this. So maybe some yellow, cadmium. Ooh, that's a lot. That was a lot of paint. And how about some of the rose? No, that is not a signal. he will be watching something, or he likes to go on Twitter or X and check out the golf stuff. So he'll have his routine going on. You know what I mean? Rich will have his routine. Okay, let's get some clean water. And we'll go in with some acrylic. And what if we overlap a circle on top? Now that paint is not super dry yet. So maybe I'm going to come back, I'm going to layer this first layer, and then I'm going to come back in with my heat gun, because I'm picking up the blue out of the watercolor. I think everything else was dry. I think it was just that one. That circle. Is Krista not feeling well? Take care of yourself, my friend. Sick isn't fun. Okay, I think we're okay. Let's go in, and we can layer some more acrylic on top. So if you guys haven't used a lot of acrylic, what are your thoughts? It's not my favorite medium to use. I'll tell you when I love it is when I'm on my gel plate. Right? I love it on the gel plate. I don't particularly care for it just painting with acrylic. Maybe that requires me to practice some more, right? Maybe that's the problem, is I need to practice with my acrylics. And maybe my opinion will change. Right now, I don't feel like it's the case. So the wet acrylic is definitely picking up the watercolor. So you could seal it, but these are just exercises, so I'm all right with it. I'm okay if it's not perfect. Totally okay. But I'll try not to drag the blue into the yellow. So let's talk about that. Jennifer says she loves Tim's because they're water reactive. So in what sense? What result do you get using Tim's Distress paint? And where do you use it the most? Now, if we were gel plate printing, 100%, you know, I would be all over using my oh my goodness, Vicky's having trouble. I would be all over using acrylic paint. So I'm just going to do some little art marks. I might go right into the blue as well. And then I think I'm going to do a whole rectangle of pink. So I got to read. So I asked a question, and then I have to look at the answers. But yes, definitely love my acrylics on my gel plate. Acrylics are hard to control beyond their opacity. Paper artsy paints have more translucency. Using distress inks and water tonight instead of watercolors totally works, right? Totally works. Just everything I've done in this whole thing, my favorites have been anything that's been watercolored. I want to do a block because then we can art mark on that. But like I said, I won't quit. I'm just going to play with them some more so I can see if I can get the results I want with a little bit more practice. Because there's always opportunity to learn, right? There's always the opportunity to learn. And I'm finding your brushes can affect your result. The paper you're using can affect the result. The amount of water versus paint can affect your result. But yeah, it's just my takeaway from this is the things that I've made so far. My favorites have been with the watercolors or always distress ink because it's a go-to. I love, love, love it, right? Gel plates are so fun. I agree. I've never used a gel plate. It is my favorite thing ever to do. But I have been on a little bit of a hiatus because the one that came out with my name on it is not a good product, which I had no control over. So I have not wanted to really draw a lot of attention to it because it doesn't work, right? So I didn't want people to use that one when we do start gel plate classes. So we will, when we get to doing them, which it will be this year, it just will not, I will not be using that. I just want to dry that yellow so I can put another coat on top. But you know, that's one of those things in my, along the way, right? What do you call the brand? This is a craft mat from Ranger, a Ranger craft mat. It should be fine though. You can condition it, right, with some baby oil or petroleum jelly. Baby oil is the best. And it should be fine. Yellow is very translucent, right? So I don't know if I'm going to get anything more from this. Yep, I've done a couple Friday Night Lives with the gel plate. I have a whole class that we did with the gel plate. You do a little art class with your friends. We're using acrylic paints to paint portraits. I struggled to get the paint to flow on mixed media paper unless I add extender. Yeah. The extender certainly helps, right? To maybe if you prime it with some gesso, it might be helpful. Let me look at my little sketch that I had. And I'll just get loose. Just gonna get loose. Okay, just put some different little things on here. Actually, because we can do that transparent line. Put just a little square down here. And then a little bit more pink. This is kind of really got an 80s vibe, don't you think? It's got a little 80s vibe. I'm going to put the pink in all of it, though, I think. Or let's actually, I'm going to blend these two and make a little bit of an orangey color. That's going to create a little bit of mud, but it's fine. Just go with it because it's really picking the blue up, right? I'm just looking at it and going, what are easy to do? So if I have a flat brush, I can either do a full stroke or I can get a really nice straight edge with that, right? So that's the only reason that I went in, like, now let's do some little lines in there because we'll fill that white space. Remember, Connie? Actually, what about a check? Do a crosshatch. Ooh, I love that. That works. Like I said, some of these I love, some I don't love. It's totally okay. They're exercises. And I really, really believe that. And I always think more learning comes from the ones, except for the parrot eye, the crazy parrot eye. Not a lot of learning came from that one, other than I just kept going. But sometimes, you know, it's a piece of paper in your time, and sometimes it's garbage and you just throw it away. You just throw it away. And that's okay too. But the parrot eye will stay in there. It's going to have its spot. It will live in my book. So this is acrylic. You know it's going to take a little bit to dry. So let's move on to the other one that I'm going to do on the small paper. Let's see if I can redeem. We'll let this dry. And then we're going to do some art marks on it. We'll see. When we lift, right? When we come back and lift, it's going to be little squares. And we'll just do something interesting in there. And we'll see how much paint I pushed underneath the tape, because that might happen. But that's what your pen is for. So setting that aside, that was not my favorite so far tonight. And what else did I say we were doing? We can do just little rectangles and squares. And this is going to be freehand too. You could mask if you want to. I have a sheet. Let's do it on this. I'm going to put some new, here, how about this one? Do it with Distress ink. We'll paint with Distress ink, just like Kari's doing tonight. Okay, we'll paint with our Distress ink. How about Distress and oxide? Because we haven't used the oxide, have we? I'm going to get one clean water, though, okay? I can't mix that with the Distress because it's acrylic, and the other one's mud. So I'm just going to clean my water, and then we're going to paint with our Distress inks. I'm excited. 8x10 is my favorite gel press or gel plate because I can use 8.5 by 11 paper on it. So I feel like the paint, what was I going to say? I feel like when you do that, you don't have to spend a fortune on your paper. And it's a good size for stencils and such. And then I love my big one. I love the 12x12. Be sure to check, Vicky. What am I? Be sure to check? What? And I think what Natalie maybe was going to say is if you haven't already, don't forget to thumbs up the video. And if you haven't already subscribed, make sure you're doing that so you don't miss when I do go live and have new content. Okay? Let's go in. Oh, I'm excited. So I'm going to start. I'm going to do some oxides. We're going to paint with some oxide tonight. I'm going to go in with my picked raspberry oxide ink. So I'm putting a little kiss on here. I'm going to wet my brush. And then, oh, look at. So this one separates into pinks. Some of them you're going to pull a whole new color when you go on here. So I'm going to paint a little oxide square. So we're going to see the difference. What happens when you paint with oxide as opposed to distress. So we'll leave an oxide square and then maybe I'm going to add a regular distress one. Okay, so that's oxide. I'm going to leave a space, and then what about if I do like a long rectangle here? So when you're doing this exercise, what you're working on is your brush control. Brush and pigment control, trying to paint squares and rectangles. Because it can be harder than you think, right? So the oxide definitely has opacity to it, right? I will show you now when I go. And paint. With regular distress. So that was picked raspberry. Make sure you clean your oxide up. Let's see, pick raspberry now in regular distress, not in oxide. And what are we going to get? So I'm going to paint a square in between these. Let's do one down here too, because we're just going to kind of fill in, right? Just go and fill. So I'm going to just do one down here. Oop. I'm also going to switch it up and let's see what results we get with a round brush. So So different things that are going to affect this watercolor is painting on smooth paper as opposed to a textured paper, painting with distress inks as opposed to watercolor. You might not get the same results, right? I'm going to keep my picked raspberry, and I'm going to put some spice marmalade and mix it. Let's see with our, where'd I put it? Here, I guess, brown brush. What are we gonna get? So what brush are you painting with if you're doing this with me right now? Are you painting with flat brush, round brush? Now my round brush I'm finding doesn't cover as much space, but I can get those corners a little better. But it is going to dry a little faster. So let's see now, let's pick your round number 10, and I'm with my 8. I'm using my round 8. Let's see with the watercolor beside here, what that's going to look like comparatively to our distress. So obviously the pigment load is greater with the oxides or with the watercolor paint. But if you were painting with re-inker instead of out of your pad, you probably could get some vibrant color. So pull that in. I don't want to go too wet either because it is foundations paper. I'm going to paint a little bit of that in here. There we go. Like it. But I might add some more of that kind of pinkish in there. Foundations paper, because I had cut extra of the let's go in with some prize ribbon, and I'm going to mix it. I'm going to dirty it up a little bit, so I'm going to mix that right in with whatever's on here already. So that will give us, look at getting a nice green there. So let's put that green as a little rectangle. Float some of the blue in there too. So you are not going to get, it's going to be much more subtle. So I know Kari was doing painting with her distress. Are you getting a very subtle pigment with the distress ink, Kar? I'm going to go back over here and do some longer squares. turn my paper. It's very translucent, yep. And did you notice, did you notice that I stopped using the oxides? I love oxide for stamping, but you know, we have our favorites, and I love regular distress. And I know that a lot of you guys like your oxide inks, but I am of more of, or this more, what would, having a hard time with the words. I find I definitely lean towards, more towards the regular distress. I'm going to pull, let's pull a little bit of Mermaid Lagoon now. I'm going to do some little thin strips over here. So I want just too thin, long, thin. A lot of water in that. Did you notice? There we go. And you will find too, if you're finding that your brush control and you're having a hard time getting these as clean as you want, that's going to come through practice and playing with different brushes. Like I said, working with different amounts of water. I'm going to go back in and drop color in some of these too, because I feel like they're a little flat. You know what I mean? Using the same. Here, I'll put some yellow in that. I do like distress on foundations paper, very much so. I just want to drop, let's drop a little bit in there to make those a little greenish. And then we'll go in with the just watch your water, okay? I already can see I put a lot of water in there. Okay. I'm going to float some more. I use oxides for blending rainbow backgrounds and distress inks for antiquing ephemera. Yep, it just depends how you use it, right? I do a lot of mixed media with my distress. So, I just find I don't like how sometimes the pigments will separate too. It's a little easier to control the distress as opposed to the oxide. And like everything, it's, I think, completely personal preference. So this I'm putting on top of that oxide because it's a little flat for me. So let's see when we just drop in a little bit. Okay. What other colors do we want to use? It's a lot of water on there. Let's go in with like make a green now too. Like a nice green. I'm gonna go there with the green. And let's do another rectangle. fill it in. I apologize because I'm focused on this, that I'm going to go fast to get that pigment in. But I think if you've been following me for a while, I don't think that's new news. Any news is good news with Gary Gnews. I just dated myself. Is I've always leaned towards the distress more. I can't be alone though. I'm sure that some people out there feel the same. And then some will feel completely opposite. That they're like, nope. Vicky, I am 100% love my oxide inks. You're using a flat brush, Karen? I don't like that yellow in there, so I made some more green. I can't work this paper too much either because it's foundations and I could pill it. So I got to be conscious of that too. Don't fart around too much. What else? Want to make a purple? A purple. I want to make one big square. I'm going to make a square here, because I've done a lot more rectangles. But then I'm like, which color do I want to pull up there? Maybe turquoise up there. Wick some of that water out, because if it's too wet, it's just too hard to control. So let's try to make a square. I think that's a little bit more square, isn't it? And look at Connie, I'm going to leave some white space in there. Just not fill in that whole thing. Let's just leave where the water is going and leave some open spaces. I like that business there. And we'll leave that there. Poor Connie is like, I should never have told Vicky that you like oxides better. Do you see what I'm saying with the oxide? My issue is how flat. So the oxide doesn't wick the same. Like that's oxide. But I don't get that wicking, the same wicking I do. I'm going to pull a little color in there. I lied, Connie. Look. And that brush is very wet now. So we can do, how about just some little pieces in there? Connie knows. She's like, I should never have said anything to Vicky about the white space because now she just never leaves me alone. So in this space here and here, I'm going to do some orange, I think, up here. Maybe, let's go with yellow. I'm going to do the yellow. Yeah, scrapbook pages from years ago. So I'm going to go with this brush now. And I'm going to do some little lines like this. Want to make sure I don't run out of space, so can we get 2 more in? Maybe. I did not do that. Well, you know what? Why can't they touch? I'm going to do that. Make them bleed into each other. like that. I like it. And then we can do little squares up here, I think. Oh, somebody's coming down here. I think it's Rich, but he's not coming to see us. He's going into his room where his golf stuff is. Because he went in the hot tub and now he's got to go play with his toys. I always tell the story when we were first married. I don't even know which kids we had yet or not. I had gone out with a friend. I don't like that one. I'm going to fill it with a little color. I had gone out with a friend and I came back. I'd gone to the movies with my friend. And I came home and he was in all of his golf hockey equipment watching the hockey game. So he had his helmet on and his gloves. And he had a little piece of carpet down and he had his skates on. I was like, what are you doing, you crazy dude? I gotta stretch it out, make sure it's all working in good working condition while he watched the hockey game. He had a stick in his hands. Crazy dude. I might do a little bit of green just in that one. It was funny. I was like, it's a good thing I didn't notice all this weirdness before we got married. You hit it well. I discovered it after. But you're a little crazy. But the same goes for me, right? The same goes for me. I'm going to float a little green in that yellow. I like it. Okay. And you guys will laugh. The only ones I don't like on here are the ones with the oxide. So I was trying. I tried. And then look at how long that lasts. So I'm going to paint over top of my oxides with a little bit of regular distress. Because I was trying. I tried. And then I really do like when you go over again and make kind of that halo. Halo, your halo. Ooh. Yeah, pull in a little Rihanna tonight. I'm going to go over top of that green one again. Yeah, can't show the crazy too soon. Gotta save some of it, right? Can't show it too soon. It was funny though. Called my mother. I'm like, Mom, you won't even believe this one. Your crazy son-in-law. You won't even believe what he's up to now. I am very much liking going over it a second time to create that kind of halo effect. Let's do one here. Which I liked it on the watercolor too, didn't I? Okay, I'm going to give this a blast. And those orange ones look a little bit flat, don't they? A little bit. So let's put a hint of another color on top. Okay. And leave it alone. It's kind of out there, this one. It's just all over the place. It's a little flat because it is truer, right? Just kind of truer color. I would like to dirty up my pink a little bit, though. I feel like I might add one more layer with maybe a little purple in it. I'll flatten my paper out too once I dry this a little bit. Do you know what I'm saying? Or do we just go with it? Should I just go with it? Just the pink looks just so meh. Meh. This is some kind of fabulous, isn't it? Oh, I love the earthiness of that one. And then we have this one. It's pretty bright. That's pretty bright. Gonna add our marks. Just gonna add some marks. And you know what I took the, let's give this a little bit more. What supply list? Is that for something else that I don't know what you're talking about? I just sent the supply list to Lisa, so she's probably sending it out. It will be your basic list. The only thing for the layout class is you will need distress ink. And the colors are different because it has to match what I'm using, right? So let me show you. Because they're right across on the other side, on the scrapbooking side of my table. These are the distress ink colors that I use. So you need your paper trimmer. If you're doing the album class, scoring tools, you know you need paper clips with me. But this is the ink. These are the ink colors you need for the layout. Tattered Rose, Mustard Seed, Spun Sugar, and Tumbled Glass. Okay, Tumbled Glass, Spun Sugar, Mustard Seed, and Tattered Rose. So you'll need those if you're doing the layout class at Scrapfest. With the album class is straightforward. Is paper trimmer, scissors, paper clips, scoring tool, double-sided tape, foam dots, liquid glue, and then the only other thing you need all of that except for the scoring tool for the scrapbook class, but you will need, you know me, a scallop border punch. Okay? But very straightforward. It's very straightforward. So which one do we want to do first? Let's go to this one because that's where we started. So we are going to we're going to outline these with a black pen with continuous line. So we want to get loose. Are you ready to get loose? So which pen do we want to use? This one is the one that gives me kind of the gray. This is what we're going to do. Continuous line like this around them. Okay? Continuous line. I don't want you to lift. So I can use that one, which is gray. It's more of a gray. Or I can use this, which is definitely black. I'm going to use that one. I'm going to go with black. So I'm going to start in the upper left and across till I come down to the bottom so I don't drag my hand through it. Okay? Hello, Kimberly Clark. How are you? Let me take my water brush out. I don't like to leave them in the water. Set them aside. And we are going to do continuous line. Can they touch from rectangle to rectangle? They sure can. So decide where it's most comfortable. And let's go with our continuous line rectangle. I love it. Do they have to be straight? Absolutely doesn't matter. But let's just go in with continuous line outline. Could you put some dots in them? You sure could if you wanted to. And add one more. So that was not, I cheated on my continuous line on that one, but boop, boop. Right? Just get loose. Just feels good. Oh, let that control go. Feels so good. Look at that. I don't even care. I'm just having fun. It feels good. Releasing all that stress from a very busy work week so far. But when I get in here, there are no rules. It's just for fun. I get to connect with my friends online. And it feels good. And if I don't like how this one turned out, guess what? It's a piece of paper my time. I can just repeat it. I love how this one turned out. I would like to do it maybe in a cool palette. Because these are kind of cool purples, right? But I would like to do it maybe with the blues, but dirty those up as well. Love it. It is a stress reliever. And the other thing it is I will look at some of these and go, I love this. I'm going to do a painting like this for my bathroom, and then I can just pick the colors that I want. Or I want this for the background of a scrapbook page. Or I would love this on a card. This could be on a card, and then you could just do your sentiment in a metallic and put it on top, and you're done. You could do leaves in the middle of all of these too, right? But we're going to do a drawing one of these where we just do flowers. Because we've done it before, right? We've done trees, we've done flowers. I want to revisit mixed media, art journaling with flowers. We can do one with leaves. You could do one with mushrooms. There is a ton of content out there too, and great ideas. I want to do a whole thing on looking for somebody that I find online that inspires me. And then I'm going to be like, here is my take on what I learned today. Or I was looking at this art and then I just made it my own by doing this. But look at this inspired me. Or I love their use of colors. Never thought of using that medium. Love that page. Super simple. Love the watercolor. Love this watercolor paper. I do 100% stand behind spending a little bit more money if you want to get those kind of results with your watercolor. It makes a difference. You like your page. I love that, Kari. I hope that you post it on the Vicki Boutin Creative Community page on Facebook. So look at friends. I'm kind of excited about this. So I opened up a gold Posca. So let's see what this paint pen looks like in metallic. So we're going to prime it, right? Because it's a valve. You got to get that paint into the tip. So what does this metallic look like? I don't think it's going to be super goldy. It's not. I have something else that I'm going to share with you It is. It has a metallic, but if you want that really fun metallic, that's going to be a part tour. And we're going to start doing some mini classes too. Right? I want to do some mini classes, but let's check it out. Oh, I like it though. It's giving me some nice results. Look at, especially on the acrylic. So I'm going to put some gold details in here, and then I'm going to go in with the black. Natalie, are you going to come to Scrap Fest? Are you still here, Nat? I'm going to do some big circles on this one. I am really hoping Natalie is going to come hang out with us at Scrap Fest. Scrap Fest is in Kitchener, Ontario. And anybody coming to, I will be bringing as well, and they're going to be on sale, my Disney class and so even if you're coming to crop and you're not taking any of my classes, but you want something to do during your crop, I will have my vintage kit and the Disney kit. So you could grab, ooh, I better watch I don't put my hand in wet ink, right? You could grab, if you want to, one of those kits with the instructions, and then you have video as well. Okay, what are we going to do in this one? So I'm making sure that I draw over the masking tape too. So when I take it off, right, that gold is really pretty. I'm very much liking this. Very much liking this. So let's do some little art marks up here on this one that is not my favorite. Okay, so we got some gold on all of the squares. And now let's get in here with some black. So should we go in thick black, thin black, both? Right? So let's do some of the thin. What do you think? I could do some little squares, right? Because this is, like, on this. How about this? So you know how that we just did those loose squares? Why not do some loose squares in a square? Are you guys doing art marking? How comfortable are you with the doodle aspect of this? Definitely doesn't have to be perfect. You could do words on it. You could use a stencil. I like that. I like that. I might do that again up here because remember, I don't love that yellow. But now I find it's just a little layer, right? It's just a little layer. You love to doodle? Me too. When is Creativation? I leave, I think, on the 3rd of April. It is that weekend. It's called NAMTA now. So is anybody going to be there? Is anybody going to, where is it? Seattle? Make sure you come by and see me. I will be teaching the album. So my new collection will be debuting at the trade show. And I believe it goes up on the 9th, like past the trade show. I will be doing some sneak peeks, and then when I get back from the show, we'll do a walkthrough of the whole collection, okay? I like that. I like it. Are you going on a cruise with the fam? Are you going on a cruise with your family? So I'm going to go really thin lines here. And I'm also going to, remember we talked about, could you use a ruler? You most certainly could use a ruler if you wanted to, right? If you're like, I would like to have lines that are much straighter. Sure, you could. You could do whatever you want, right? What else can we do? How about these? Our little fish scales. Little fish scales, right? And I'm going to get, I think, a bigger Sharpie too, like a thicker or a thicker. Ooh, let's go in with turquoise too. Good night. Yeah, I'm almost done. I still have the other one to do, but maybe that'll be my homework, right? Because we don't want to keep you up too late on a school night. What can can we do in here? That one's all about stripes, that page. Just a couple dots. What do you think? What do you think? Happy birthday, Nicole. Happy birthday to you. So I don't love how that one turned out. So let's add some white to the middle of them. It happens. So we'll take it back. And now I like it. I actually like the white dots. I feel like it needs to be added somewhere else, don't you? Let's just do a row of them here. Fun. Anybody else have vacation coming up? I have most of April. I'm not around. Then I'm home for May, most of June, away in July. You're going to try this tomorrow. So I'm going to I'm going to put a line around these. Boop. 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 And boop. Just think that's fun. And I do need a little bit darker black now because it's in there. But let's figure out where that's going to go. I need something on here. We'll do a circle because there's a lot of square going on, right? So let's do just a line. We'll do a couple there just to add that black. And then how about some just dots in the bottom of our circle? That'll work. Little pointillism. A mystery trip. I'm taking a mystery trip. What's that mean? Hopefully they at least let you know what you need to pack. Because that would be my only stress with a mystery trip. Is making sure I have what I need. Right? That would be my only thing. Oh, let's look at, I'm going to do this. I made a flower. Just did a little flower down there. And I'm going to say good. That is good. Let's heat up our tape so we can peel it off. Yes, packing list comes. Because that's my only thing. That's brave, Kimberly. I don't know if I'm brave enough for that. I don't know if I could do a mystery trip. So I'm heating my tape so I don't rip the thing. And let's see what results we get. From our little art studies. So see what I noticed there, before we lift that off, is there needs to be a little bit more contrast because you can't really see. So those things that you learn is you need to paint to the edges. So we're just going to take, we have orange watercolor, or maybe the yellow. Let's just go in with a little bit of a yellow wash. Portugal will be fun. I love to travel. I am trying to see if we can add a Caribbean one next year, if there'd be interest in February. A Caribbean cruise. Let's see if that, okay, that makes it better. You couldn't really see the square, right? And like we know, a lot of these I will come and revisit and do again, right? This is my first attempt, is with you guys. And then I can revisit. Okay. Getting a big tape ball mess. I am going to Dominican Republic, and I'm going to bring my art journaling supplies I would like to do, and it would just be watercolor and some pens and an art journal. Look how fun that is. Little art studies. Panama was good. I have to say, that cruise, and I'm so glad that we got to do with Captain Kate, her last one with, or second to last maybe, right, Kari? Second to last with Celebrity, before she went to a cruise line that I don't know how soon I could afford to go on it, right? I like that, I have to say. And look at the adding the little watercolor, boop. Like some of them I could tape again if I wanted to, but that's fun, right? That's fun. And I think this is one of your takeaways, are the little mini art studies. I think can be a lot of fun. That can be a lot of fun. I love that. So we have this one and this one. Very fun, right? Very fun. And now we have this one where I'm going to art mark over top. But we don't have anything taped. So it's going to be very random art marky. Okay? Bismarcky. I'm going to start with black. And I'm going to do, in this one, my little fish scales. Very loosely. You know where else I want to go? Just random. I was looking at for just a cottage is Nova Scotia. Just get a Airbnb or rent a cottage near the water. Just for fun. Just go and eat some scallops. Eat some scallops, do the things. Let's draw some lines on our pink one. Yep, I would like to just go to Nova Scotia for a couple of days. I want to go and walk along the beach, take photos, eat seafood, right? Yeah, visit with Irene, for sure. I'm going to Nova Scotia in September with some crafty friends. One of them lives there, and she's hosting us. How fun is that? A trip with Vicky is on my bucket list. We have a lot of fun, Trina. Question, is there an Airbnb big enough for all of us? I don't know. Maybe we could find something, right? I'm sure we could find something. I'm sure we could find something. Okay, so what else do we want to do on this one? I don't like this, just so we know. I do not like how that one turned out. I feel like I'm going to have to fill the whole thing in. Because I do not like it. So maybe we'll go mini. Like it's like the dragon tail. Need some mini ones in there or something. Let's see if, do you think we can bring it back? This one that Vicky really does not like. Well, that's better. It's a little bit better. I think it is what it is. I don't like that at all. I ruined the whole page. I ruined the page, and now I'm going to do a big random circle here. I like that. What else could we do? I sketched out some things. We could do little circles too, right? I feel like metallics could come in here too. Would be fun. Yeah, I was just thinking, you know, like I would like to just go visit some places in Canada. And I love Nova Scotia. I love Peggy's Cove. I like to rent a car and then just go drive around because it really is beautiful. Eat all of the seafood. Go visit friends. I really wish that I had a cottage or knew somebody who had a cottage I could rent to, because there's something to be said for that. I want to smell like the bonfire. You know what I mean? I love that smell. And where the damp is in your clothes. But I don't want to do it in a tent. I need to be in a house. I need to have a shower, running water. Those days of roughing it are in my past. I am not a roughing it kind of camper now, right? What if you shaded the scales? I'm going to try it, Jill. Let's go. That's what my thought was too. Okay? Let's do it. I think we can add a layer to it to make it better. Because right now I'm like, ugh, don't like them. So let's see. Look. What do you think? Can we add some life to it? Let me know what you think. I think that's better. They just look kind of flat, right? So I've been going to bed, like when I'm done here. Normally I would stay up and do some more stuff. I will go right up and go to bed because I've been getting up early and doing walking on my treadmill with my friend Lil. And I did make my what do you call it, profile public, because at first I was like, I don't how's that work? And then I like to high five everybody while we're doing our walking and say good job, because like I'll be on there and I'll be like, I am freaking hating every minute of this at the beginning, and then I love it. Look, Jill, that's better, right? I'm too old. Yes, and the mosquitoes, but I do, right? I'll be back. Puppy dog needs a break. Glamping, yeah, that's fun. But yes, I don't want to rough it anymore. Come out west. I would like to do that too. I like that. We need to add some more white. We'll add white in the middle of these too, like we did before. I'm digging it. Let's clean the end of my, it's got a little something something on it. There we go. Where the paper was starting to pill, I picked it up. I also want to add a metallic. And we can do some dots. How about in here? Oh, I love it. I love it. And then I would like to do some lines. And our metallic. Hello, Lisa. How are you? Are you doing okay? Lisa's in the hospital. Are you doing okay? Let us know. How are you doing? Are you there for tests? I hope you're doing okay, my friend. I'm going to do some little squares. I don't want to put my hand in the wet, though. So we're going to do some little gold squares. Yeah, feel better. So a lot of planning for events for next year too. So be watching for it. We're working on, we haven't worked out all the details, but one I've never done before. But I'm kind of excited about that. That's fun. And I would like to add I want some lines in there. Very nice. And how about like that? Sure. Sure, Vicky. Getting crazy now, though. It's getting crazy now. And we'll do some lines on this one. And I'll put some lines across this one. There, some dots. And then I'm going back to the white. Pneumonia. I have a complicated, oh my goodness. Take care of yourself, right? Take care of yourself. That is just no fun. So I hope that you are back on your feet soon, because that is no fun. Oh my goodness. And happy to have you here, and hopefully we're keeping you company. Thank goodness for our phones and all the rest of it when we're in stuff like that, when we have that hard stuff that's going on in our lives, right? So the art marks on top of this, I really find add interest, right? This is my last one. Anything else I'm going to add, I'll do after, but let's look at what we made. I think that's fun. I think that one's fun. It turned out okay, didn't it? So what was your favorite page that you made tonight? Look, these ended up. They're similar but different. Similar but different. And the simplest one, I'm telling you, this is my favorite. And the reason that this one I think is my favorite is because the color palette is not what I normally would use. And I feel like it's a little bit more mature, right? Going in and making the earthy tones. I love, look at how that, watercolor fanned out. I'm digging the watercolor. I am very much feeling like I want to explore more. So we picked all these things for this round, but when I move into it, I think I'm going to be doing a lot of watercolor and art marking. I am really digging it. I feel like, out of all of this, my thing that I come away with is that I think I want to do more of that. I think I want to do more of that. This I like, and I think I would be happier with my acrylics if I had a more extended palette too, because this is very primary, right? The colors are very primary, and I think that I need to add, like this brings me joy. And then this I very much love, and they're happy, but I think I would like it better. So I'll play with this. Let's see I'm going to do another version of this, like on the back of this page, maybe in rectangles, like I'll mask it and do it on rectangles. I'm also going to try it on watercolor paper. So I will definitely be playing to see. There'll probably be a page that goes in between these two. But I could always do this too. I'm all right with that. Let's see. With an earthier vibe on this one that I'm going to mask. That'll go with that page. Totally okay with it. Because that's the whole idea here, right? This one I love so much I didn't even do anything on. I'm like, I just love that. I'm just leaving it exactly like that. It makes me happy. It makes me happy. So I can't wait to see what you guys made. These are going in my stack. That was a lot of fun. So Friday is arches. We'll see though. Maybe we're going to add some, maybe we're going to get crazy on Friday with some stencils and stamps and do some different things. Yes, you'll try with secondary colors next time. I agree, Jill. I really think doing the dirty, getting dirty with my watercolor really made me happy. And it's probably just because it's not what I normally do. It's not what I really normally do. Question, will you add pictures, text, etc. on top of these or leave as? These I will be leaving as is because I want to show a progression. So when I come back, if I was doing just an art journal page where it wasn't part of this series, I would get my stamps out. I might sew on it. I would pull in maybe some of my pastels. Lots of different mediums would come into it. But for this, I wanted people who are new and joining us to not feel like every week I was pulling out a new medium. Because I think that that can get a little overwhelming for people who are just finding you on YouTube, right? That want to try something new and feel like they have to invest a ton of money to be able to play along. So my whole take on this was staying true. Look at the mess you're seeing on my desk. Boop. Hi, up my nose. Was staying true to the list, the tool list. So, but let's look again. When I think sometimes when I am head on with you guys, it shows a whole different. But see, I really love that one. I feel very artsy. That feels very artsy to me. And super simple. Super simple. This one I love. It's not done. I will add more to it. But it feels a little bit more juvenile just because the color palette's pretty simple. But there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. And then this one, I do have to say, when we added the white and some of the gold in there, that I do like it. But it is definitely more of a primary color palette, right? And like I said, I'm not going to be mad or sad about it. It's a piece of paper, my time. I can repeat it and do anything I want or try something new. And I feel like that's part of the whole growth process creatively, is leaving some of that stuff, that just leave that as is and start a new piece of art rather than going and revisiting. I just wanted them to be a simple application and fast. The whole purpose is that you just do this quick and it's a good exercise. So exercise and just moving your body, right? Sometimes exercise is literally using your brain muscle and your creative muscle, all the muscles, just to do something that is fast and makes you relax and feel good about just getting something on the paper and moving on. So that was a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed that. I can't wait to see what you make. Don't forget to visit at Vicki Booten Creative Community on Facebook. If you haven't joined, head on over there. What are you waiting for? And make sure, if you haven't, make sure you subscribe, hit the thumbs up, the like button. And I'm allergic to moving muscles. It's okay if it's just your hand and you're painting. But there's pills for that. We can get you something that will help you move those muscles. And I'll see you on Friday. I'll see you on Friday for the last of the installment, and we'll have a little chat period there too. So anything that you have questions about or you want me to help you with, I'll be happy to do that. So thanks as always, friends, for joining me. Thank you, Natalie, for being my trusty sidekick, and have a wonderful rest of your evening. If you are watching in future world after the fact when this is live, thanks for joining us. Leave me a comment in the regular comment section, and we'll see you later. Bye, guys. Eat.